Can an engine bay be pressure washed without damaging anything? The short answer is no. Yes. Yes, it can be, if you're very careful. What exactly do I mean when I say be very careful? There's a few things you want to look out for. Number one, you do not want to pressure wash your alternator. It is kind of open, and if you soak it with water, you're going to ruin it. You're going to have to replace it. Number two, a lot of us guys have a short ram intake or cold air intake with an air filter just chilling there. If you're going to pressure wash your engine bay, you have to be very careful. You're going to want to pull your air filter off, let it dry out. Usually what I would do, and what I'm going to do on here, I'm going to pull the air filter off and plug the intake with some sort of rag, plug it somehow, tape it up, do whatever you got to do to get the intake plugged up so you do not fill up your engine, your turbo, whatever your intake's going to. You don't want to fill it up with water. So two things to keep an eye out for. The most important thing you guys got to keep in mind, make sure your engine is cold. You do not want to pressure wash a warm engine or a hot engine for that matter. You could potentially crack a block, crack a head. When your engine's very warm, you throw cold water on it, it's going to shrink and it could crack. So make sure your engine is cold. I recommend letting it sit for about 4 hours after you're done driving it, just to make sure. This is something you don't want to you don't want to do this, guys. You do not want to crack the block. You do not want to crack the head. How we're going to be going about cleaning this engine bay, I'm going to grab the pressure washer. If you don't have one at home, you can always run to your local car wash. They always have pressure washers there. If it's a self-serve car wash, run there. Second thing you're going to need, you're going to need a degreaser or purple power, or not purple power, simple green, some sort of cleaning detergent, cleaning agent to spray on your engine bay. Third thing, you're going to want to brush. You're going to want to brush up the nastiness of your engine bay. Number 4, if this is available, not 100% necessary, use an air compressor to dry out your filter so you don't have to let it sit out in the sun forever. So let's jump right into it. First thing I'm gonna do, open up the hood, and I'm gonna show you how disgusting this engine bay on this car really is. It is absolutely a disaster. As you guys can see, this engine bay is completely disgusting. I don't think it's been cleaned since they got this new motor into the car, which was 7-8 months ago, I don't know. So here's what I'm talking about when I say watch out for your air filter. As you can see, air filter's wide open right there. That's gonna go right into my turbo. I'm gonna wanna pull that air filter off and get that plugged up right there where it goes to the MAF. You don't want water on your MAF sensor anyway. Number 2, my alternator is down there. I know Subarus, like if you have a WRX or STI, I'm not sure about other cars, but they put the alternator right up here. So you're gonna wanna watch out for that as well. Other than that, you should be good to go. Obviously, you do not want to get degreaser all over your paint, so keep an eye out for that. Don't get degreaser on your fender, your bumper. You can use degreaser on the bottom of your hood, but don't get on the top of the hood. Try not to. If you get a little bit on there, it's not going to be a huge deal, but just be careful there. Here's what I'm going to be using to clean this engine bay. I have super clean degreaser. This is diluted 50% with water, so I filled the bottle halfway up with degreaser. The rest of it is water, so 50-50 degreaser water. I have this brush here. I'll have both these down in the description box below. And then, the most important thing, we have a pressure washer. The first thing we need to do is prep the engine bay. So we're gonna pull off the air filter. I'm just using a flathead screwdriver to pull this off. Any aftermarket filter will probably use just a flathead screwdriver on the hose clamp. If you have a stock air box on your car, and it's not modified like this car here, you don't need to worry about it. So we're gonna pull that ETS filter off. And then I have these rags here. I have 2 rags, and I'm gonna cram them up in here. You can't get any more plugged than that, so we are good to go there. If you want to be extra careful with your alternator, you can always throw a plastic bag over it. I've never had an alternator go bad from pressure washing, so you should be fine there. Just make sure you're not constantly spraying pressurized water into the alternator. I'm gonna set this air filter off to the side. As you can see, it is completely disgusting. But before I clean this, I am going to get this engine bay cleaned up. So the first thing we're gonna do, connect up some water to the pressure washer. And then we're gonna pressure wash all of the excess dirt, or not excess, just dirt that's chilling on there, the dust, and then we can get into the fine details with degreaser and the brush. So connect the water up to the pressure washer. Like I said, if you're going to a car wash, you don't gotta worry about any of this stuff. You just pay the $4 or whatever it is to get the pressure washer turned on. And now it is time to pressure wash. So here's a quick look before I do anything at all. As you can see, it is super disgusting. Here's the engine bay after one quick little spray down with the pressure washer. As you can see, it's a lot cleaner, but it could definitely be better. So I'm gonna grab my degreaser and start spraying down this engine bay. Like I said, guys, oh wow, that's really windy out. Try not to get it on to your painted panels at all. Obviously it's really windy right now, so there's gonna be a little bit that gets on there. And to make sure I don't harm the paint at all, I'm just gonna wash the rest of the car after this. Okay, I have a light coat of the degreaser on the whole engine bay and the bottom side of the hood. I'm gonna grab my brush and just brush up the bottom of the hood. And now we can move on to the engine bay. Alright, we are ready to spray down this engine bay one more time with the pressure washer. And remember guys, be careful around the alternator. You do not want to fill that thing up with water. You will definitely regret that. Here is a quick look after the engine bay is completely cleaned. Bottom side of the hood is cleaned. Everything is looking amazing. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna let it sit outside with the hood open for about an hour. Let everything just dry off. And while that is all drying, we're gonna move on to the air filter. So I'm gonna be using the same degreaser, the super clean right there. I got in the bottle down there. Just spray it down, let it soak in for a good 15-20 minutes, and then wash it out. Bring it up to the house, wash it out in the warm sink, and then we can spray it off with the air compressor. You're gonna want to spray the outside and the inside of the filter. Make sure everything's nice and clean. You can also use filter cleaner, especially if you have a foam filter, you don't want to use degreaser on it. So I'd recommend picking up some filter cleaner, but this works fine for this screen. I guess it'd be called a screen style of filter. This degreaser will work just fine. It's not going to deteriorate the filter at all. So we're going to let that sit for about 10-15 minutes, and then we can go rinse it out. Real quick before I forget, I'm going to pull this out of the intake. You don't want to leave that in there. And because I didn't want to get degreaser too close to the fenders, there's still some grease on the fender right here. So I'm just going to use this wet rag, kind of clean that up a little bit. Nice and pretty. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all dried up. While everything is drying up and this filter is soaking in the degreaser, I want to ask you guys a question. I want you guys to go down and comment below what you think I should do. So this thing, as you guys know, has a built motor. The motor is good to roughly about 700 horsepower. That's how I built it. I could push about 500 horsepower out the wheels reliably and just drive it how it is right now, you know, like reliable 500 horsepower with a good size turbo, like a Precision 6266. I could do a GTX 3582R. I could do a few different turbos. There's a few different options I'm looking at. I want to know your guys' opinion. If you have this car, the motor's done, motor's good to go. It's got a really strong clutch in it. The rest of the drivetrain is good to go. All I'd have to do, throw a turbo kit on it, or just the turbo. I could do a stock location turbo, or should I leave it stock? Should I leave it with a stock turbo, stock fuel system? All it's got right now is like the intake, full exhaust. It's got the boost controller, pretty much a stage 2. If you guys are in the Subaru world, stage 2, meaning intake, exhaust, boost controller, tune. The motor I built doesn't really have much more horsepower. It's just a lot more reliable now. As you guys know, I did bend a rod in it, so that's why I ended up building the motor. So I want you guys to go down in the comment section below right now and comment either hashtag stock or hashtag built. What do you guys prefer, a stock Evo or a built Evo? Go let me know. I want to know what you guys think. Okay, it's been about 10-15 minutes with this air filter being soaked in degreaser. I'm gonna walk up to the house right now, get the water super warm because there's not warm water down at the shop, and get this thing nice and clean. This has been needing to be done for a good 2 or 3 months now. It's been dirty. I've been slacking on getting this air filter cleaned, so I'm very stoked to get this thing up and running how it should. So as you guys just saw, this filter was absolutely disgusting. You all saw how much dirt came out of this thing. Like I said in a few videos ago, this Evo was 100% neglected as I was building the wide body FRS, but I'm very happy to get this thing back in action, looking and performing how it should. So the next step with this air filter is going to be to let it dry. I have a compressor, an air compressor here, so I'm gonna turn that on and blow it out with compressed air. If you guys do not have an air compressor, just let it stay out in the sun or in a warm area for a while and it'll dry itself out. All right, so the filter's clean, the filter is dry. The last thing we need to do is spray a little bit of air filter oil on it. Now I have this K&N recharge kit. This also comes with a cleaner. I didn't end up using a cleaner. I choose the greaser. Either one works. So the next step is to spray a little bit of this filter oil on it. Just a very light film. This is the stuff I'm using, K&N air filter oil. One thing I'd highly recommend doing is throwing on a glove on the hand that will be holding the filter. You don't want oil all over your hand and all that nasty stuff. So throw on a glove, shake up the oil filter, or shake up the oil for the filter, and we're just gonna spray a light coat on here, nothing insane. And as you can see, it kind of turns reddish a little bit when you get a light coat on there. You don't want too much of this oil on here, guys, because it can go through the filter and onto your mouth sensor and mess up all your readings. So that's why you just want just a very light film. Let air filter stand for 20 minutes and respray any visible white spots. It's not white, but you guys get the point. It's all coated red. It's a reddish tint, and we're gonna let it sit for 20 minutes, and then we can put it on the car. Or what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the car and then just not drive it for 20 minutes. Same concept. So let's run over to the car and get this filter on the car, then we can be done. Gotta slide this clamp back on the filter, and then we're just gonna simply slide the filter right up on there. Get it positioned how you want it. Get that clamp looking good if you are worried about it like I am. And we can go ahead, tighten her down. At this point, you can also pull the mass airflow sensor out, which is right here, and you can clean it with MAF cleaner. I'm not gonna do that because it's just done. So I'm not gonna worry about that, but I would recommend cleaning that MAF if you're running an intake like this. I'd recommend cleaning that MAF every time you change the oil, so about every 3,000 miles. So right now I'm gonna throw a before on the screen and then a middle, like in between when I was cleaning, and here is officially the after. So it's 90% dry. There's still a little bit of water right there, and I know I'm missing a clip there. So it's 90% dry. As you can see, it's freaking amazing looking. I don't know if it's ever been cleaner. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. Like I said, guys, this degreaser is gonna be down in the description box below. I'll throw a 2.5 gallon or so link down there so you guys have enough to use for all these projects. And then I'll throw a brush similar to this down below so you can clean up your engine bay, get it looking like this. Bottom of the hood looks amazing. Very, very clean. I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. So we're officially done with cleaning this engine bay. I know it's a very well debated topic whether or not it's safe to pressure wash an engine bay. I've done it on, honestly, probably about 20 cars, multiple times on each car. And I've never once had an issue. Just follow the steps I provided. Make sure you're not spraying into the alternator is the biggest thing. Actually, the biggest thing is don't crack your block. Don't spray into the alternator. If you have an air filter, obviously you need to get that cleaned. One thing you guys make sure you need to do if you're using like a small rag when you plug the intake, take your rag back out, because that would be a major issue. If you suck the end of your turbo, suck the end of your motor, that would not be a fun issue to deal with. So if you're using a rag, make sure you pull that thing back out. I really hope this video helped you guys out. I'll be expecting to see a lot of comments in the comment section below. Make sure you go comment #stock or #built. If you enjoyed the video, smash that subscribe button right up in that corner up there. Would really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.